Hi everyone. Okay, so I am playing with the live feature here. I've done some Facebook Lives, but I've never, or maybe I've done like maybe one TikTok Live. So we're gonna, just gonna see how it goes. But I have a bunch of needlepoint canvases that I have finished stitching the needlepoint, but I haven't actually made it into the ornament. So I'm going to start on it tonight and we shall see. All right, let's see. It's like doing something weird on the screen, so we'll see what we got going on. So these are all going to be ornaments, and I'm going to start, I've got 5 stockings. I have 2 of the same one because eventually my kids will get them, and one of them's at UK. I went to UK. We'll see if the second one goes to UK, so someday they'll get one. And this is a building on University of Kentucky's campus. So that's where this is actually the building where I actually had my graduation, so that was kind of special. But anyway, I need to turn them into a stocking. So normally you have to send these off. If you do needlepoint, it's really fun. They're nice keepsakes, but it's also very expensive. And it's also very expensive to send them off to get finished. So I can do some needlepoint finishing, not all. So so the stockings I can do. So I just thought I would get started on some of them this evening. I don't know how much I'll get to, but I just wanted to kind of go through the process since I have a bunch of them and just kind of show you how I do it. Let me take this needle out, put that over there. So I'm going to start with this one, and first thing I do is you have to trim this off the canvas, but you don't want to trim it right next to it. So you've got to leave some seam allowance. So I can kind of ballpark this. If you wanted to be real technical about it, you could, let me see. Oops, you can get a ruler, if you wanted to, say, draw like a 1/2 inch, you could pencil around it, but I'm just gonna eyeball it and cut the canvas. And I have done a YouTube tutorial on finishing a bigger stocking, a needlepoint stocking that I did for a customer. So if you want to check out my YouTube channel, I've been real lazy. I haven't done any YouTube videos in a while, and not because I don't want to do the videos, it's because I don't want to do the editing. So I have just trimmed that, and this is trash. And then I have I want to line it because I'm going to you can make them, when you're doing the ornaments, you can make this so it's an actual stocking. You could put something in, or you could totally close it up and just, finish it, sew it up and whatnot. I like to make the stockings actually functional. That way, if you want to put something in it, you can even, give this could be a gift, put your gift card in it, while it's hanging on the tree, put a candy cane in it, something like that. So I make the ornament stockings to be functional. And I got my stash of fabrics for these. And so since this is a nutcracker, I'm going to use this fabric that I had in my stash. Just thought it would be cute. My one son always liked nutcrackers. And oh my goodness, I am just noticing, we're not going to finish this one tonight. I'm going to show you how to cut it. But there is a color of stitching. My husband actually stitched this one, but that is not stitched. I've got to get that finished. There's a little row that is not done, but that's okay. I'll cut this out, and then we'll actually put together this one, because I know this one is all stitched up. So let's see. So thanks for joining me, you guys. Didn't know if I would be on here by myself or not. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna set this aside because I gotta finish stitching that one. So let's just cut this one. Moving on. I've got all these extra needles. Let me move these to a different canvas because I don't want to lose them, but I don't like to put them in my pin cushion because these are bigger needles for needlepoint canvas, not hand sewing, so I don't want to get them mixed in. Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna do this one. So again, I'm just leaving some seam allowance. I'm gonna leave, you know, like maybe a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I've trimmed, you know, about a 1/2 inch of leaving this canvas because that's going to be in our seam allowance. So what I want to do is, I just got some white cotton. I'm going to use this for the lining. And then I'm going to put a fun print. And since this had like candy canes and peppermints and things on it, I found this in my stash, so I'm going to use this for the backing. So I'm going to just lay this out. And of my lining, I'm going to cut 2. Get this folded. And I'm just going to pin this on here because I'm going to cut the lining exactly the same. So let's cut this out. Okay, so I've just got this pin. If you want to lay it out and just get a pencil and draw around it, just to have a little pattern. I'm going to iron my canvas a little bit because I've had it folded, you know, in my hands. Got some little folds, so let me press this really quick. All right. So the first thing I want to do, so I'm going to take this lining piece right here. I'll line this up. I'm going to stitch right across that edge, and then I will fold it in because I want to have a finished edge. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to fold this down. Just kind of finger press this a little bit. And I'll press that. But see, then on the inside of the stocking, you've got it closed right there. Let me press. I'm going to use this other piece to line up with my, this is going to be the back of the stocking. And I'm only going to cut one of these because the needlepoint is the other, so we don't need two like we do with the lining. So let me make sure I'm cutting this the right way, because technically we want right sides together, so I'm going to want that would be like that. Yep. I just want to make sure before I cut this that I am cutting where the right sides will face together. And again, I'm just going to pin this on here. If you want to draw a line around your pattern, pin it on, however. I'm just curious, anybody watching, if you do need a point. Getting into the selvage, let me turn this. There we go. Okay, so I've got that cut. Now, you can actually do this one of two ways. I can sew this piece just like this across the top, flip it over, and then right sides together. Or if we want to have all the lining and everything stuck down in there, I can sew the tops together and then line them up like this. So there's kind of two different ways. And let me see, how do I want to do this particular one? Let me iron this. Now I want to measure, what else do with my ruler? There it is. I want to make sure I have the same amount of seam allowance at the top. So I've got a 1/2 inch. Just making sure I'm sewing, because I'm going to want these to line up. And now I'm going to iron that. And hopefully I did this the right way. Yeah, I did. Yay! So now I'm going to put right sides together. Okay, the right sides are the pretty sides of the fabric and the needlepoint. And I want to make sure that seam allowances up here meet, and I'm going to put some pins there. So this edge is very important to make sure they line up. The other thing is I'm going to leave an opening down here so that I can turn it. So I'm going to leave that opening in the lining. I'm just going to put a couple more pins. I don't like to use a lot of pins, but and let's see, DBJ 1969, even with my readers, I'm having trouble reading that. Are you stitching or working on the needlepoint part of your stocking, or are you actually making the stocking part? Okay, so I'm going to leave this bottom open, stitch all the way around. The other thing is I want to leave a little opening for a hanger. So I may stitch it, I may have to open it up when I get done because I'm going to see how this goes. And I think I actually want it across the top right there. Let me stitch this. I think I know what I need to do, but I want to double check. Okay, let me get going here. This, I'm not stitching that deep into the needlepoint because I've got a nice seam allowance of the canvas. Let me kind of bump you over a little bit and you can see what I'm doing slightly. I am stitching on just right on the edge of where the yarn is because we don't want to see any of that blank canvas, and hopefully I'm doing it deep enough, but just right on the edge. I hope my camera's not shaking. I just realized I have it clipped. I've got it on a tripod that clips onto my desk, so I'm sorry if it's shaky because that's on the machine. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is you're going to have to clip around the heel and the toe and in here because you have to clip your curves, and you also need to do it, you know, on the lining too. Oh, and DBJ says she is needlepointing right now, fellow needlepointer. I've tried to finish some of the other brown ones, but it's like a whole another secret world of needlepoint finishing. Like, I know how to do this just because I know how to sew, but finishing needlepoint projects, I mean, it's amazing what they do. And I'm going to trim this seam just a little bit more. Okay, so I stitched, I don't know if you can see that stitch line, just barely into the needlepoint. Hopefully I did it enough, so we'll turn it, we'll find out here. And I hope I left a big enough opening. I may have to open this some more. I don't think I did. Should have made a bigger opening. That is not going to be big enough. Okay, so I'll pull the lining over this. Carefully to get it turned. The thing is, working with needlepoint and trying to get it turned is, you know, the canvas is stiff, not like just regular fabric. A little more manhandling to get it going. Get it going here. Don't worry about getting it wadded up. We can always iron it. Alright, slowly getting there. Pushed out. I'm going to use scissors carefully. I'm not using, what fabrics do I recommend for the line? I'm just using a cotton. You know, a lot of the Christmas ornaments, they get finished, you know, with like I got this little satiny or something shiny, like a taffeta or a satin. Both of these fabrics that I'm using are just like a regular cotton. You could put a satin in there. I think it's just personal preference. But I mean, it's just the lining, so I don't think it really matters. But you know, the satins and everything else, they can be a little slippery. So cotton to me is a little easier. Okay, got it turned, and but I need to pull this lining back out because I've got to stitch up the opening. So I'm going to press it all, and then I think I'm going to open right here. I'm going to do a little opening in the lining, and then I've got some cording somewhere. Where's my back cording? Let's see. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I might try this. I'm going to open this. Let me press it, and then I'm going to make a little loop. Now, some people like to put the cording, you know, like sew that on. I don't know if I'm going to or not. It's kind of a pain in the ass to me. But, you know, some people want to put cording on their ornaments. I'm not going to do it on the stockings. I don't really think it's necessary, but you totally could add that. So I'm gonna make a little opening just right here in the lining. I really would like to know what I did with my seam ripper. Got every tool known to man, and I don't know what I did with my seam rippers. And they're probably under something. Hold on. seam ripper. So I'm just going to open this up just right here so I can put my little hanger, because I wasn't sure exactly where this was going, how this was going to do. I probably could have done this from the get-go, but I didn't. So I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to open a little hole. Okay. And let's just gauge. Maybe, because I need to put them in there, something like that. So I'm going to press this, and I do have a YouTube video of doing stockings, so you can check that out. And I've got so many of these other ornaments, I might do another one. So I've just opened that up and I'm just kind of sticking this in here. But since I've got the lining open, I can go ahead and sew this in and then turn my stocking, and let's see if I can. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back over. So I'm just putting my little hanger on right now. Okay, I'm going to sew that in real quick. Okay, so that's in there. So now I need to press this. And if you want to know, like, my YouTube channel, everything, all my social media is the name of my business, So Cute by Katie. Same thing on YouTube, same thing on Facebook, Instagram, website, all the things. Okay, so I'm going to press this real quick. Give me a second. Got it pressed, and now I'm just going to, this is, you know, the lining where I have this open. I'm just going to tuck this in. It's going to be down in the stocking. It really doesn't matter what it, I mean, just, it does not have to be perfect. Nobody's going to get your little ornament and pull the line out and be like, oh my god, this does not look perfect. So I'm just going to top stitch this. Okay, so I just top stitch that. And now I'm just tucking this back down in there. And I need to get the lining pushed back into the toe. And use my scissors. You're not supposed to use your scissors to poke stuff, but I do it all the time. Like, I don't, they do make a point turner tool, but I mean, come on, your scissors are right here. Just don't shove it through and rip a hole in something. But they work just as well. Okay. Now I need to get my lining, or my, let me get this smoothed out. Smooth. All right, let me iron this, and we're gonna be done with the first one. sorry for shaking the table. So now you can see it's fully lined. It is a fully functioning stocking. But if you don't want to line it, you don't have to do that. You could actually sew around this way, leave this open, tuck all this in there, and either sew it by hand or, you know, top stitch it and just have it closed and be done. So I just like to have them actually as a functioning stocking, you know, little ornament. So, but that's how you do it, and that's how you're going to do a big stocking too. If you have a large, you know, a regular size stocking you need to finish. Again, if you like doing hand sewing, you could also hand sew on your cording. I don't want to do it. I like to hand sew and do the needlepoint, but I don't really care. I don't want to do the cording. And you're right, there are not a lot of finishing videos, because I have looked and looked and looked, and I don't know. They don't want you to know certain things. And then they have books, and it's really hard to, like, the books just aren't easy to follow. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so that's how I did that one. So I have 4 other stockings I'm going to need to do. So this one was a little ornament I got from the storybook Harry the Dirty Dog. Now this one obviously is not a stocking. So I'm going to maybe stuff this a little bit. Not like super puffy, but just so it has some texture. I haven't decided if I'm going to just use some quilt batting or make it like a little tiny pillow, which I'm kind of leaning towards the pillow, just so it's, you know, a little textury, or, you know, has some dimension to it. And then I may possibly, like, I'm going to cut out or measure, I've got some white satin, I think, yeah. So I'm going to put this on the back of the Harry the Dirty Dog one, but I think I'm going to personalize this. So I will embroider, like, I'm going to draw a square on my fabric so I know what size, and then I might personalize it with my son's name on it, put some little message on there, and then do it just for entertainment. Now I think what I was planning on doing, I could change my mind, but I am going to, I think I'm going to put cording around it, and then so it'll be all the way around, and then we'll do, you know, from corner to corner, and it will have a hanger like this. You know, that I can just tuck in, so I'll have to do that by hand. So that's another project. Maybe I'll do it on a video. We shall see. I don't know. But thank you. Thank you for saying it's cute. It's been a lot of quality time doing the needlepoint. Now I've, you know, got to get the ornaments done. So the next ones I'm going to do are my UK Kentucky. I bought this satin to go on the back of these, and I'm going to make these functioning as well. And then this one, depending on how much needlepoint, it actually has, like, it came with a little plush wildcat that, like, sticks down in the stocking. So this one has to be a functioning stocking because it has to have an opening. So when I get that done, I'll probably do, I don't know if I'll put it together live or not, but I will definitely show you on a TikTok in general. But I just wanted to sit down and start on some of my Christmas projects, because usually, I mean, I've had these two, the one I just did, I mean, they've been done a good while. And actually, I just realized, you know, I've got to finish a color on this one, just so, like, 1 row of stitching. But I'm glad I caught it and didn't leave it unfinished. I just finished this one like 2 weeks ago. And then these I worked on a few months ago. So they've just been kind of piling up, but because they're Christmas, I just didn't get them done. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to make the actual ornaments. So, and I just thought I would play with a TikTok live, see how it goes. It wasn't horrible. I didn't know if there was a lot to it. Let's see. It does have some other info, and I want to just, it is different than doing Facebook Live, so I'm just trying to figure out, you know, what are some of the things you can do. Just kind of looking. But I do appreciate you all joining me, and I hope you all had fun and maybe learned how to finish your own needlepoint stockings or just make a little stocking. And be sure to follow me for some more TikTok videos. So I do all kinds of sewing. I don't necessarily do a ton of needlepoint ones because that's not my primary thing. This is just kind of what I sit around and when I watch TV, which I don't really watch TV. It's just whatever on Netflix because there's never any good shows on anymore. So it's kind of whatever I'm binge watching on Netflix. I'll sit down in the evening and work on these. Sometimes, in the summertime, I'm sitting out by the pool working on needlepoint, stuff like that. So thanks for hanging out with me, you all. I appreciate it. And I look forward to maybe chatting with you all on another live or responding to your comments. And I'll talk with you later. Now the next thing is